Greetings, friends. This is important news for all Americans. The Internal Revenue Service has just announced some new information for taxpayers. Officials say that the IRS will begin to simplify and redesign tax notices as the Biden administration pushes for the agency's modernization. These changes will apply to over 150 million letters that are sent out to taxpayers. My dear friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video to learn more about this. Also, in just a few days, this coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. Please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
Dr. Schmidt, Pease National Guard Base in New Hampshire, the 157th Air Refueling Wing, was the first National Guard base to get the KC-46 refueling tanker. That was in 2019. We received our first plane. We are still waiting for the new remote vision system to work in that tanker. As I understand, you will be the person who will continue to follow whether that remote vision system gets completed properly. Do you commit to staying on top of that and keeping this committee and me informed about what the progress is?
Yes, Senator, absolutely.
Thank you. Dr. Erickson, in New Hampshire, we have a regenerative center called Regen Valley in Manchester that's working on regenerative medicine and has gotten significant contributions from the Department of Defense. We also have at BAE a new microelectronics center that was designated as a semiconductor manufacturing facility by the Chips and Science Act. They received a significant grant. Can you talk about how you envision leveraging these kinds of tech hubs and the Chips and Science grant recipients to ensure that our investments in semiconductor manufacturing are done well and that we use the innovation that's happening there in a way that benefits our security?
Sure, Senator. Thank you for those questions. I just wanted to mention that it's because of the Peace Air Force Base that I actually ended up in aerospace engineering during a visit as a high school student.
Great.
So the CHIPS Act is, I must say thank you to the committee for invoking the CHIPS Act. It's understanding $52 billion is a critical investment and a critical enabler for us to be able to actually produce microchips in our United States regions. It's, from my understanding, we're investing something like $400 million over 5 years because we do recognize it will take time to build a lab to fab regional facilities. Microchip electronics are in everything that we utilize. And we saw during the pandemic that it was particularly impactful because we were not able to provide those resources from outside of our borders. And it was almost crippling to our economy. So, of course, I will commit to making sure that these things continue to grow. You mentioned one that I was not aware of in your state, but I look forward to working with that biotech partner and growing those capabilities, which are very important and critical to delivering to our warfighters.
So, friends, according to Yahoo News, the Internal Revenue Service wants to rewrite its complicated letters to taxpayers and speak to people in plain English. The federal tax collector is rewriting and sending out commonly received notices ahead of the 2024 tax filing season. This is part of its new Simple Notice initiative, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said during a call with reporters. Redesigned notices will be shorter, clearer, and easier to understand. Taxpayers will see the difference when they open the mail and when they log into their online account. The 2024 tax season begins on January 29th. More than 170 million notices are sent out annually by the IRS to taxpayers regarding credits, deductions, and taxes owed. The notices are often long and filled with legal jargon, leading to many taxpayers to call the agency. Simpler notices in plain language will help people understand their tax liability and improve tax enforcement. IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel has said that the initiative is paid for with funding from the Democrats' Inflation Reduction Act. The tax agency received an $80 billion infusion of cash for the IRS over 10 years under the IRA passed into law in August 2022, though some of that money has been cut back and is in constant threat of cuts. According to Yahoo News, the effort to reduce paperwork and make the IRS easier to work with is part of the agency's paperless processing initiative announced last August. This is an effort to reduce the exorbitant load of paperwork that has plagued the tax agency. Under the initiative, most Americans will be able to submit everything but their tax returns digitally in 2024. And as the IRS pilots its new electronic fee file tax system, starting in 2024, the agency will be able to process everything, including tax returns, digitally by 2025. Werfel has also stated, "We need to put more of these letters into plain language, something an average person can understand. The more clear our notices are, for example, when a balance is due, the more rapidly and effectively those balance dues will be understood by the taxpayer and paid." It has not been easy to anticipate the economy's moves lately. The last 4 years alone have brought many twists and turns. That includes a supply chain crisis, inflation, and more. U.S. federal officials suspected the fight to lower inflation would be very difficult and have been reluctant to declare success, even as price increases have slowed. The data from December showed why. Overall consumer price inflation jumped, while a measure of underlying inflation fell. Producer prices, the cost set figure into what consumers eventually pay, had also dropped, but shelter and vehicle costs kept rising. Well, my amazing and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you, I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.